like a real talk show.
I love the applause, man. I'm like, yes, fucking woo, let's go.
DigiByte, yeah. I don't have any jokes for you right now, but it would start off with some jokes.
Well, so we just learned to bring everybody up to
Who was angrier?
Yeah.
Because you're free of your whole country's free of COVID, right? Like you're COVID
there's 2 cases or something that but they've gone back into isolation. So yeah.
So what was it like? The village torches? Let's get them, kind of get the isolation going.
We've had people like on. It's really bad because all of the social media warriors come out, like you say, like with their pitchforks, like we're gonna hunt you down. It's like this person didn't ask to be like sick. Given the choice, I bet you money they would have chosen not to. But they're like, we're gonna find them. They've gone back into isolation. They opted to. Like the government's basically paying them for 2 weeks to stay in there. Like they're cool. Like it's not even like you hear about like in certain countries where it's like prison and stuff.
Yeah.
They are literally putting people up in 5-star hotels. That's how like yeah. So when you fly into New Zealand, if you come to New Zealand, if you're returning home, or if you happen to be like here for the America's Cup or whatever, they literally you have 2 weeks in a 5-star hotel. That's your isolation. And people are like, oh, I don't want to go in isolation. No, look, if I could, I would go to Australia and come back just so I could spend 2 weeks in isolation.
I just want to know, in isolation, do they get coloring books? Because I cannot survive without coloring books, man.
Oh, dude. No, it's actually so when you go in there, and this was one of the things, there was one of New Zealand's more well-known supermodels basically recently came back into the country, and she was brought to tears by the fact that when she came through customs, they stopped her, and they do this with most people, and they just say, look, how are you actually doing? Are you okay? Like, are you struggling? How is your mental health? How are you holding up? Are you feeling okay inside as well? Like, and they genuinely care. Like, it's freaking cool, man. Like, I'm proud to be a Kiwi. It's amazing.
Yeah, it does like suck to be in third world countries where they really do put you in a cage, and like brainwash you. But it's pretty crazy. But so it sounds really cool. Yeah, like Kansas, Missouri, we're pretty nonchalant. The only places that we're supposed to wear a mask and stuff like that is like Walmart or Quick Trip, but like you don't have to go there. So I mean, it's not like people are driving around. Well, some people are driving around in their cars with a mask on. It's kind of ridiculous, but other than that,
as soon as that community case, every single person in the supermarket, freaking everywhere, wearing masks. Every single place. It was great. Like New Zealand's just like, no, we're not risking this, man. Like it's not spreading. We're done. Like it's not taking hold here. It was cool. And so like a week later, we're basically going, yeah, like there's no more extra cases. Like we're all going on holiday for this long weekend now. There's a music festival my mom was at, like I was telling you about, and it's great, man.
Oh yeah. So she's rocking with Christian music, giving some positive messages, huh? What's she doing again?
So she's actually doing like it's not a sermon, that's kind of the wrong word, but devotion. Like devotion. Yeah, they'll do like you have speakers and things sometimes at those kind of Christian music festivals and stuff, and so she's talking about creativity, like divine inspiration and how to express that and that kind of thing as well. So it's really quite cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
In fact, I went to the City Union Mission downtown where, there's a bunch of people that don't have anything. And I went to go preach the book of Nehemiah about, repairing your gates, rebuilding the walls, and get restored. Because I really do have a passion to give somebody the gospel to those guys that have no house, no family. They destroyed and wrecked their lives. They got nothing, man. And I want to be able to just, by the grace of God, give these men something to turn their life around. And I'm passionate about it. I mean, I even got I even got a CD on it, just to hear myself, and so I can get better at it. But I try to look at them, try to just give them hope, man, because I always tell them, I said, beyond these walls, with your cot and 3 square meals a day, it's rough out there. I mean, if I mean, it is over here, buddy. So like, there's no time to mess around in life. It's time. I mean, isn't the saying knowledge is power? I mean, like,
Mm.
just wake up, start doing something with your life. It's always good to be able to be in that position to give a crowd a message of hope, positivity, and structure, or something that they never had. So your
So
mom's doing that.
that's a really good point, right? Like, so what is it that what about where DigiByte is going brings you the most hope and positivity?
You said DigiByte?
Yeah.
Hold on. When you said something, you were asking me a question, and I saw what Ron said. Like,
Yeah. Hey, Ron, I'm just seeing you in the chat there, man. It's good
yeah.
we got Tom as well in the house. Welcome, dude. It's cool.
Yes, it is. Josiah is DigiByte. What are you talking about, guys? DigiByte? What gives DigiByte?
What gives you hope and what was the other word you used? Like
Just
like promise, like
encouragement,
inspiration for the future.
inspiration, encouragement, hope.
Yeah.
With what I would have to say with DigiByte, I mean, let's just get real. It breaks down walls that hold us back. It tears down those walls of partition that literally hold us back from the rest of the world. And not only that, it secures your identity. I mean, sign me up, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
what we're looking for. The whole time? I mean, you're messing with all kinds of boards and bodies that put regulations on identity in America, and it's just overlapping. It's just not very good, man. I mean, there's corruption, hacks. It's getting worse and worse. I mean, if I had to say one thing about DigiByte, it's funny because DigiByte has a.
I don't want to say just one thing. I got
You can't say one thing. I'm sorry. You asked me this hard question, man, on the spot. It's everything, man. It really is everything. Other than it's everything it is now online with tools, payment systems, security, securing your identity, authentication, verification. Um, fast payments. Be your own bank. Be your own boss. Create your own wealth. The list goes on, and that's just so phenomenal, and it's permissionless.
Yeah, like that's a good point, right? So a lot of people have kind of likened DigiByte to being a bit of like a jack of all trades, if you will. Like there's not any one specific, just like you're not going to pigeonhole DigiByte. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that that's cool that DigiByte can do so much stuff? Or do you think it would be beneficial if it was more just like, let's just forget about this over here and just streamline and just focus on like one thing? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I look at Bitcoin as like Warcraft, the original game Warcraft. I look at DigiByte as World of Warcraft. So there's, if I had to put it in geek terms, right? I mean, because I'm not in this just for DigiByte to be fast. That's I'm in it. I'm in it to win it, man. There's no doubt in my mind that's why sometimes I have to get my mind grounded, because my mind just sputters when I think about DigiByte and trying to just
Possibilities.
yeah, like 5 algorithms. What do they do? Like we just found out, or I just found out, not you, that people have this wrong perception that at the 2035 DigiByte just stops mining. And the thing is, I thought maybe you can use one of the algorithms and tell it something else to do, but no, it continues to mine transactions and tax fees, which are minimal, but by them still doable for mining. And so that's a huge learning curve, man. If I was able just to take a year off and just like like do one-on-one talks with you and just learn DigiByte, I would. You know what I mean? Like that would be a dream. Like I want to talk to people that actually know things so I could be useful, and then people can point and say, yeah, script, go over there. You know what I mean? Do that. You know, that's how I am in, you know, I say my church, you know, I mean, I want to be used to God, right? I just same thing I look at the DigiByte protocols as the Bible, you know, you just open it up and it's got a wealth of knowledge in there, and it really does take a lifetime to figure out where this thing is going, you know, understand it.
There's so much to learn, right? Like, and especially it's hard because if you're showing up and you're new to this and you're like, I've heard of Bitcoin and I've heard of Litecoin, and then you're like, what? There's 5 algorithms and they're what does it mean that they're all competing with each, and what are the implications that they're competing with each other, and how does it work? Like now, everything that I've been told by Bitcoin and Litecoin about orphans is completely invalid when we talk about DigiByte because of these other like it's just
that's another thing. I saw something on Twitter about people making a big deal out of orphan blocks, and you know, I mean, it's like, and I get it. I know why they're there. You can explain it to everybody, but man, that's what I saw when I saw DigiByte. First of all, I was trying to get my head around Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was super simple to explain. It did blow my mind. I mean, Bitcoin did blow my mind, but and then Litecoin, right? Litecoin is a different algorithm that's faster than Bitcoin. I'm sold, you know. And then I see Jared Tate talking about DigiByte, and then people are you talking like about DigiByte, and then looking at DigiByte.io. Dude, it was almost like my eyes exploded out of my head. I was like, and just everything that, you know, that amazed me before Bitcoin was just melting out of my skull. You know what I mean? It was like I was stunned and froze and be like, well, why isn't this? That's the question for everybody when they stumble on DigiByte. They're like, why isn't this being talked about? Right?
Yeah, and actually, like, so I want to give a big shout out to Murat and Nigel and all of the team we've helped with all of the translations for the DigiByte.io website, because as it is now it's amazing. It's brilliant.
It is.
Yeah, it's so cool. And the fact that now we have it in like 30 different languages.
I think
I don't know if it's 3, maybe it's more, maybe it's less, but it's a lot. Like it's freaking cool, man.
I think the first week it was like 12 languages.
Yeah, it's insane. Because originally I don't know if that was what they had. If that was the intention, like, hey, yeah, let's do a new website and we're gonna optimize it so it'll load super fast, and we're gonna do a whole bunch of other, like, we want to lay it out like this, we want to highlight this, and we link off, and yeah, and I think that goal in and of itself was cool, and then they started to translate it, and you're right, like a week later, there was a dozen different languages, and it was awesome. It's so cool. Let's have a quick look. Like,
well, remember, if you use my screen, it's probably going to be shrunk. Or was it just that format that you used for XMRig?
12. So 12.3. Yeah. So there's over 30 different. Wow.
Try it. Can you use the screen? I want to see. Is it your computer or was it your screen that you were showing us last time? It was super small. Remember that?
I can screen share. Yeah, I can share the whole screen.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I want to see. I mean, I want StreamYard to look, you know, way legit. I want Is this it? Do I have to click it? Yep. Hey, it's normal.
Well, that's because I've zoomed in. Can you see up there? It says 150%. Like that's what it's supposed to look like tiny.
Yeah, we're good. It's a slick.
Well, actually, so let's zoom in just a little bit, make it easier for people on mobile and stuff. So you can see here, there's, what's that, like 33, 4, 5, 35 different languages. That's amazing. That's super cool. That's super cool. And they've even added this stuff, which is really nice. So you can actually join in real easy if you wanted to, and you can go and edit them on the website as well. On GitHub. So if we click on this, we can see here.
Yeah, guys, if you guys know a language and it's not there, or it's not complete yet, go ahead and contribute. That's the cool thing about decentralization.
So we can click on this and let's go, and we're going to do French now, and let's go view this. Here we go. The description and everything, and you can go. They've actually made it a whole lot easier. So this is the actual all of the code that goes into the website. But in terms of editing it, like let's see if we can bring up PO Editor. Yeah, here we go. So let's have a look. Let's can I click on
any of them undone yet or not finished?
Yeah, so all of those are like mostly done. This is your project. You don't need to. Oh yeah, I know that. Can we go back to? Hang on. Let's bring up the website then. Afrikaans 100%, Albanian, Arabic. Yeah, let's have a look at that. All right. So this is some of the stuff here. So it basically tells you on the left. So DigiByte is a rapidly growing open source blockchain created in late 2013, released in early 2014. After 6 years, we've got to fix that. After 6 years of forward-thinking development, DigiByte has become one of the safest, fastest, longest, and most decentralized. Okay, and so this is basically what they translate it to.
So basically, we type it in and it automatically translates it?
No, so this is someone's gone through and actually done this by hand.
Okay, well, can't we get like what are they? There is no, that's an app I was thinking about. There's
automatic ones, and like you can use Google Translate, but it doesn't always have like the nuance and that kind of thing. Like we wanted someone who actually speaks the language, and so if we go back, like we can see some of these have a bunch of people. Like let's have a look at Afrikaans.
Okay.
So how many have we? Is it going to show? Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 people working on Afrikaans right there.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
It's pretty cool.
That is cool. I don't know how we got onto this.
Yeah.
Dude, I know what you flipped the script, dude. My name is Script Skynet. This is the DigiByte Comm Talk. I'm here with Josiah.
And I'm interviewing you today, apparently.
I'm chilling. How'd you do that to me? All right, I got a few questions here, Josiah. Hey guys, by the way, if you guys have a question for Josiah, drop it in the chat. He can see it if he chooses to. If he chooses to.
While we're here, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Script's hitting his 1,000 subscriber mark real soon. We're
actually, you're right. I haven't hit my 1,000 subscriber mark. Out of all the crazy production I try to do, I haven't got anywhere.
So give him a follow, hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, anyway, all right. So, question number 1 is: DigiByte better than Doge, or what some other people call Dogecoin?
Stop freaking Dogecoin!
I'm pretty sure
you hurt me in my soul, man. Like, okay, so a little bit of history for people who aren't fully aware. So Dogecoin back in the day was started by Jackson Palmer and another guy. So he's Australian. I think he's moved to America now. He started it as a joke. It was not supposed to be serious in any way, shape, or form. And back in the day, what happened a lot of times is people would mine on Scrypt coins, because back in 2013, 2014, that was all that you could do with your graphics card. You couldn't mine Bitcoin. So you could basically swap back and forth. And a lot of people would do that depending on what they felt was going to give them the most profit. So you would have a profit swapping pool. And so people would mine Litecoin, they would mine Bitcoin, they would mine DigiByte, sometimes unknowingly, because it would just automatically sell and give them Bitcoin. Sometimes. Some people did know what they were doing, would swap back and forth. Now, the problem with doing that is when you have a large amount of miners and you've got a large amount of hash rate, and then they all up and disappear and go somewhere else, the blockchain freezes. And what we had with Dogecoin was the blockchain actually froze. There were no new blocks, I think, for at one point like 3.5 or 4 days or something. So that's pretty crazy.
We're like, we better help that meme coin out.
Yeah, well, I mean, so that's actually how I found out about it. So I bought like 2 graphics cards back in the day. I convinced my ex-wife to let me go and buy them, and I started mining Bitcoin. And this was right when the first ASICs had hit the market. So I was spending more in power than I was actually receiving in Bitcoin's worth. So I found Litecoin, and I thought that was kind of cool. And at the same time, it was right after the DigiByte team had worked with Dogecoin to implement some DigiByte technology, DigiShield. And I saw that, and I saw the two of them basically working together, and I was like, okay, cool. I can respect that Dogecoin is like a meme coin. It's intentionally a shit coin. No one cares. That's fine. But I like this, and I like that they've had this improvement. They've had this development called DigiShield, and they're willing to help others just because it's the right thing to do. And so, yeah, that's how I found out about it shortly thereafter. And they were also doing a mine for mud. Now, not a lot of people know about this, but back in 2014, there were the Washington mudslides. And so they started up like a fundraiser called Mine for Mud. And the idea being that everybody, what you mined for 24 hours, you would basically just donate it to the Washington mudslide victims. And those two things happened within the space of like a week or something. And I was like, I've found my home. Like this is cool. I like this. I like the progression. I like that they haven't stopped, that they haven't just gone, hey, we're out here and we're just leaving shit. And that's it. Because that's what happened so after Dogecoin became merge mined with Litecoin, they're using auxiliary proof of work, and they basically changed it as well, so there was no maximum supply. It's not been touched in years. There was one or two things they fixed, a couple of bugs that basically were like compile issues. They were submitted. It's never been a formal release or anything, and that's Dogecoin. So yeah. Does Dogecoin do anything that DigiByte does not? No, aside from have an infinite supply, which is arguably detrimental. So the one thing that it doesn't do, we don't care about.
That is amazing, though, right? I mean, it's unlimited supply, and it just went up, what, over 700%, surpassing Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash, which is ridiculous.
Power to the Doge, right? Go Shiba, but whatever. It's still
yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. We, like, anybody who's been around in crypto knew that the dump was going to come straight afterwards, because everybody who's been holding it has gone. It's gone from 1 cent to 7 cents. My $1,000 is now $7,000. I'm out. Yeah. And so all those poor suckers who were like, yeah, we're fired up from GameStop. We're kings of the world. No, sit back down.
I saw a video.
Hard Knocks. You've just learned this the hard way.
I saw a video.
It sucks, right?
Yeah, like I just put $20,000 in.
And I feel bad for them, right? Like, you shouldn't have to have that happen, but it is what it is, and it's literally a bit, and for some people it just won't have paid off. So,
oh yeah, I mean, I've said it myself. The DigiByte community, in fact, Noah Seedman texts the same thing. Litecoin fam, Doge is way overextended. Look out! And I think everybody that's been here for at least 3 years knew what they were talking about. I mean, come on, anybody can look at that thing.
It crashed down 70% or something, like overnight. Like,
yeah, I went.
Damn, someone's gonna be sad.
Someone's hurting. Some poor kid blew his brains out. It's not. It's real, guys. It happens.
Well, that's the sad thing, like, because I know people that are basically going, yeah, so I did all right out of GameStop or whatever. Like, I have no interest in it myself. I don't care. I'm just sitting here with the marshmallows just roasting, right? Like, it doesn't bother me. But I know that people have basically been out there, and I knew another guy. I worked with him, and he's like, yeah, I made $10,000 off GameStop. I'm like, cool, good for you. Well done. Like, I don't have the balls to do that. I'm terrible when it comes to that kind of thing. So then he took that and he put it into Dogecoin, and he lost 2/3 of it, like, straight away.
Oh yeah,
it sucks, man. But whatever. It's play stupid games, win stupid prizes, I guess.
I guess the other flip side of that is, Doge's success recently, this past 2 days, was not due to its technicals or its following, actually, of
No.
someone else's following.
Yeah.
Well,
And well, like Elon Musk as well. He's like one word, Doge.
oh,
And the interesting thing is he then put Bitcoin in his Twitter bio, and then like 6 hours later, he's like, "Thanks for the exit liquidity." I'm like, "Oh damn, so many poor suckers." Like, I mean, good for Elon, whatever, but
yeah. All right. How about so we know like DigiByte technology is being used in like 13, 14 different cryptos. That's cool. I mean, we're not boasting about it. In fact, don't we wish that everybody would implement that? Why not? I mean, the code base is there. I mean, if it improves their blockchain.
yeah. So this is the hard thing, right? And this was one of the things that I suggested for Litecoin was because it still is going to be a problem for them. Their block timings are wild even now, and they went through some fun when shortly after their halving, like price and hash rate went up and up and up, and then the difficulty retarget basically hit, and everyone's like, "No, we've done the math, and we're shutting off all of our old miners. They're not worth it." And so the hash rate plummeted. Like I think they lost like 2/3 or something like half of their hash rate. I don't know the exact figures. It's been a while.
Mining.
Yeah, and the block timing suffered as a result. And sure, they're like, yeah, but it's okay. We retarget every like couple days. Yeah, you retarget every couple days if it's working optimally. But if the blocks are only being found half as often as they're supposed to be, that 2 days gets pushed out to 5 days.
Oh man, I didn't find a block for like never after that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so
I mean, I almost.
I mean, the hard part though. So I submitted something to them though. Sorry, that was what I was getting to. I submitted a request, and I said, look, this is like here's DigiShield, and here let's have a bit of a conversation about it. And a couple of people were obviously really not impressed with the idea, but I basically like in it I said, look, if you are ever going to do some kind of a hard fork, include it. It makes sense. There is no downside. And so here it is. We've got the discussion, and the discussion has been started. You have no downside. There's no reason not to. Why would you not do it? The only reason was because if you are changing your difficulty adjustment algorithm, it does require a hard fork, which means that everybody has to be upgraded to this latest version. So if you decide to run Litecoin version 0.8, it ain't going to work. But it will at the moment. And for them, that's important. They want to be able to keep doing that same as Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, you can run Bitcoin 0.8, or you can run 0.18, or you can run 0.21, and they'll all work perfectly fine. So that's the difference. So with DigiByte, you've got to be running the latest, basically. You need to be running 7.17, or otherwise you basically you can't talk with the network. And it's not a big deal as far as I'm concerned, because you try and send a transaction and it's not happy, you're going to update. Same happened with Zcash. I was using that a little bit back in the day when I was mining that. You basically if you fire it up and it goes, look, damn, I can't sync. Well, I guess I better go to the website and just download the latest version again. Fire it up. Yeah, cool. We're off to the races. We're good. So
See, I do like that new DigiSweeper.
yeah, so Matthew's been amazing. He's done some really cool work with that, and it looks great, and it's fantastic. It's a great utility to have.
Yeah, I'm going to use it for my laptop.
So thank you to Matthew for all his hard work putting into that.
Yeah,
it's cool, man.
All right, question number 2. Man, that was question number 1. We're going to have a long night.
Yeah, finally, man.
Number 2. Besides geek stuff, what do you do for fun? I'm serious. Don't say DigiByte. What do you do for fun?
I probably spend more time on DigiByte than I do on my day job. Hey, I can see we've got Glenn in the house there as well. It's great to see some familiar faces there.
Yeah, Glenn.
Yeah, hit us up with questions in the chat too. I can see a few things back and forth as well, but
oh wait,
before you guys are having a nice conversation with yourselves. So
before you say that, I did see something like, let's see, this is, what was it? Oh yeah, the Michael guy. said something about contracts, smart contracts. You know, I think we're going to be executing smart contracts on DigiAsset or DigiAsset X.
Well, so anything that Doge is going to be doing, basically, you can do on DigiByte, and we have DigiAssets, which is based on open assets, which is based on colored coins, which is also what they then based Mastercoin off of, which is Tether, and the same sort of thing that they ended up basically making into Ethereum. So
Ethereum, Tether, DigiByte, DigiAsset.
Yeah, look, anything that you can do on Dogecoin, you can still do on DigiByte because they have the same limitation in terms of the op return. So you're stuck with 80 bytes per transaction. Same thing on DigiByte at the moment. Same thing on Bitcoin. Same thing on Dogecoin. One of the things that we are looking at, though, is what we can do if we do increase that and potentially increasing it from like 80 bytes maybe to 100, maybe to 128. We don't know. There's benefits to keeping it as it is. There's benefits to increasing it, like potentially more opcodes and things we can do in terms of the smart contracts and stuff like that. So let's say we do increase the size of our op return. It basically means that there's going to be more stuff that we can cram into a transaction, more stuff we can do with smart contracts, and it's going to mean that the limitations that Dogecoin has will apply less to us.
Yeah, I mean, this Michael Owen here, I don't know him, but this is the first time I've seen him. Doge will be capable of smart contracts sooner than Digi. Well, I mean, all these are capable, but sooner. That's the difference. But thanks, Michael Owen, for commenting there.
Yeah. I mean, we'll quickly smash that one out. That's an easy question. What do I do for fun? I mean, I enjoy spending a bit of time watching like TV shows and things with my wife. It's one of the things we started a good habit during the first lockdown was at nights we'll both get a cup of tea, we'll sit in bed, we'll just have a chat and talk about our day and spend lovely wife and husband time together, and we'll watch some TV and stuff. Like we've been watching The Curse of Oak Island recently. I like to play Dota, specifically, Dota 2, because no one plays the Warcraft 3 mod anymore, and motorbike riding. The Yamaha R6 that's just out the window there, and
we need to see a video of Josiah taking off in that thing. Be like, I'll be back with a DigiByte helmet on, all black DigiByte helmet.
Maybe I should do that. We'll put a video up just temporarily for the people who are here like live, right? Like I'll put this as an unlisted video. We can.
Yes.
Have we got?
Do you have something already?
Yeah, I actually. So this was yesterday.
All right. Yeah. I gotta get a bike, man. All my friends are doing it.
Yeah, it's great fun. Okay, here we go. So I'll put this in the. We'll give it a second. It's YouTube's processing it now.
YouTube.
And so this is something that the people, I guess, who are just in the chat for now can. I'll delete it afterwards. It's currently unlisted, but whatever. It'll be fun. Yeah. And that's me on the motorbike having a bit of fun.
Where did you post it in the chat, or did you?
Oh, I can't. Can you put that in the chat? Like,
are you sharing it with me right now? I don't see it.
Actually, you know what? Yeah.
Or did you comment down below?
I'll put it in the private chat, and you can just chuck it. I can't chuck it in the comments. It doesn't let me.
Huh?
Yeah.
So, you mean YouTube? Oh man, I gotta go over there. See, I'm not even looking. I'm not even watching YouTube right now.
Yeah, so that's just processing now. While that's happening, let's keep the good times rolling. What else we got, man?
So, all right. So, what is the most craziest thing you've ever done? The most craziest that turned out being positive? It was going to like wreck, just straight wreckage, but it ended up being freaking a positive day or a positive thing.
I'm gonna say signing up for Tinder is how I met my wife 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Tinder.
Yeah. My brother convinced me after I was going through the divorce, and yeah, yeah, I'm so lucky. Yeah, I couldn't be happier. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because sometimes what ladies aren't, growing on trees. Like, there's only one local pub right next door.
yeah. So it's cool. She's awesome. She's yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I see the comment there from Joseph. Yeah, all right. We'll just cheers, Joseph. Thanks, man.
All right. Number 4. What's the difference between DigiByte mining node algorithms versus nodes, just DigiByte nodes? What's the difference?
Right. So that's a really good point. In that, so at home, what I have is I have a node on my computer, and it's great for verifying the validity of blocks, but I cannot contribute to that chain.
Mm-hmm.
So all that I do basically is I can check, like I send my transaction out, and I basically get a confirmation back from the network that, yeah, it's accepted it. So whereas if you are a miner, instead what you can do is you build onto the blockchain. You add an additional block into the chain. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory in that aspect, but a couple of things. So if you're doing that, when you construct the block, you don't actually have to pay a transaction fee, which is cool. So you can put your own transaction in there effectively for free. But there's also benefits. Like they're not the kind of benefits that everybody's going to care about. So don't get me wrong here. Like not everybody needs to be a miner, but you can add to that chain, which helps you to ensure that it is the longest, which helps you to ensure that you are on the right one. So yeah, for the most part, like to be honest, like if I don't even use my node predominantly to verify any validity of the blockchain. I've got like my cell phone, or I've got the iPod here for when I'm testing the iOS app. I will send a transaction with that, and when I see the counter ticking up and I can verify it in an independent third-party location like Digi Explorer, that's how I know that the transaction has gone through and reached the destination. And the destination also goes, yeah, we've received your DigiByte. So a lot of people ask, do I need to mine? To which I would probably say, no, you don't specifically need to mine. There's no inherent requirement for it. But if you want to, I'd like to think that it's something that we're going to be helping you out with when it comes to Prog, Pow, and RandomX. So you can contribute if you want to.
I actually have on Linux. I'm running a script algorithm node for DigiByte.
Yeah, nice. Well, so when you choose algo equals scrypt, the way that works is that's if you're going to be mining a block. In terms of you actually relaying the blockchain, you've still got a complete copy of everything, of all of the blocks, of every transaction.
Oh yeah,
which is pretty cool. And so you can your node will still connect to anybody regardless of which algorithm they are mining.
really?
It's
Well, I thought that was merge mining. Like apparently my algo, my node actually merge mines or can, with Doge.
if you're doing Litecoin, so Dogecoin is merge mined with Litecoin. It
Yeah,
doesn't. So
so I
when you
got
mine Dogecoin, you're not actually mining just Dogecoin. You're also trying to find Litecoin blocks.
no. You know what it is? It's solo mine. I can solo mine DigiByte and Doge if I want. So one at a time.
With Dogecoin, yeah, you are always also like that's the way that it's auxiliary proof of work or merge mining, and
Right.
and so you're mining the it's linked basically. The proof of work between the two chains is linked.
Right. They are linked. I could just, if I wanted to, I wouldn't, but I could turn off the mining for. I could just switch pools, back and forth from DigiByte to Doge, just different stratum, and just
Mm-hmm.
start going to town. But I wouldn't. I mean, I got it for DigiByte. Period.
Yeah. But yeah, you absolutely can. And that's kind of the cool thing as well. And that's one thing that we saw with the Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV when they were doing their fighting effectively to see who was going to be the biggest or who was going to retain that name, and then they finally decided on the split. What we saw happen was Roger Ver and the Bitcoin.com mining pool took the BTC hash rate that was supposed to be mining Bitcoin and instead threw it into Bitcoin Cash and just paid those people out in BTC. And so, yeah, like I can appreciate the fact that people have the ability to change where their mining pools. I think that's obviously very important. But I mean, those people had no idea it was happening.
Yeah, I mean, but was Roger Ver's code, was that his, or did he like use somebody else's?
Yeah, so it was people that were mining on his mining pool, which was supposed to be for Bitcoin.
Right.
And he took that mining for mining Bitcoin and threw it at Bitcoin Cash, which is also specifically his chain.
Oh, that sneaky guy.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. A lot of people are like, nah, if people were doing shady stuff, like if they were trying to do like a double spin or something, we would know about it. No, you freaking wouldn't, not until afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how this works.
Dang, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember the thing where like people were like, are we going to get Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash payouts? No, you're getting Bitcoin Cash payouts.
Yeah, so like fun times, right?
Tell us mining Bitcoin here. So let's see here. Let's see. I got.
Will you be able to mine DigiByte on an iMac? Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of that was my next question.
So there's going to be, just in response to Edwin, there's two different types, obviously, because there's your legacy Intel based Macs, but there's also the new Apple Silicon based Macs, and we want basically both of them to be able to mine DigiByte with RandomX in the future. That's the goal. That
is cool. That's because there's a lot of people like, I know you're not a fan of it, but I have iOS, but I mean, yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that use it. So
can you see this going on?
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. I feel like I'm in Grand Theft Auto right now. Where are we going?
Just down the motorway.
Oh, look, I even got a little map up here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, fourth gear. Still had 2 gears to play with. And I was like, yeah, that'll do me for now.
What'd you hit?
Well, it was actually a little faster than it showed on there.
Oh, man. Wow, dude.
But yeah, the GPS data from it was like slightly delayed.
That's cool. Oh, we got some comments. Man, I haven't really been paying attention.
No, that was cool. I was just replying to Edwin there. He was asking about mining on iOS and stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to do that with RandomX. The theory, I believe, I've never actually done GPU mining on Mac OS. I don't see why you couldn't do it, but I know that when people are, it's predominantly Windows or Linux because of them. But CPU mining, yeah, absolutely. You can without a doubt, you can do that on Mac OS.
So let's just jump to question number 6 then. What's better, ProgPow, XMRig?
Right. So, it's a tough one, right? So at the moment, RandomX has been audited by 4 different independent entities. ProgPower has been audited by 3 different independent entities. Now that's cool because they were all able to go and they looked over the code and they checked it out and they basically said, yes, it does what it says it's going to do. Here's some of these like little shortcomings. Maybe you could do this to improve it just a little bit. Like we've identified that this might be an issue in this kind of limited scenario, but we can see that this has been done to mitigate that already, so we don't even think it's a problem, that kind of stuff. Now, it's great that they've both been audited so thoroughly. And that's one of the things that we're wanting to do more of when it comes to DigiByte overall as well. We're wanting that to be like the standard expectation kind of thing. And that's something that I've been working on a bit of a Medium post about. So I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But yeah, we're wanting to put more eyes on the code and things before it gets released. Now,
well, how's the testing looking like?
Sorry?
How's it doing, the testing?
It's one word for it would be thorough.
Sarah?
It's getting there. It's been a lot of fun. There's definitely ups and downs to it, like, but we're getting there. But in terms of which one is better, there's benefits to ProgPow because at the moment, DigiByte, if we implemented ProgPow, we would be the dominant hash rate in ProgPow.
Wow.
Because Ethereum hasn't implemented it. The downside, though, is that there is still a lot of other hash rate that's out there, which could basically, like GPU hash rate mining, VertHash, Lyra 2 REV3, all of those other good things, even ithash still. And those graphics cards could still be pointed at ProgPow on DigiByte. The benefit of RandomX is not that we would be the dominant hash rate because Monero would still potentially have about 4 to 5 times our hash rate at a stab in the dark. So I mean, we're still like it's not shabby. It's pretty good. But the benefit of RandomX is the lower barrier to entry. So we're going to have people straight off the bat, like we know without a doubt, you're going to be able to mine on your Windows, your Mac, your Linux, and potentially even being able to mine on your Android cell phone.
Well, can I run Linux and my Windows at the same time?
On your computer, yeah. I mean, you can dual boot between the two of them. That's cool.
Woo!
But in terms of like if everybody's got a CPU, not everybody has a moderate to high-end graphics card. And so that barrier to entry becomes lower, so you can have more people contributing. You can have a greater security from that. But we wouldn't be the dominant hash rate in it. So yeah, it's honestly, if I had to pick one, I genuinely couldn't. As for which one is going to come first, I don't know. Yeah, I can't. I couldn't tell you. Sorry. It's yeah.
All right.
Hans has said a really good question, though. You guys' consensus will work this time with the update. Miners will maybe reject the update. So I talk a little bit about that in the why RandomX and why ProgPow is so important video. Specifically, so back in the day when we did AutoCrypt, we knew who 65% of the hash rate was and where it was coming from. This time, DigiByte has become so decentralized, we only know where about 35% of it is. So I've recently been having a bit of a chat with Jared like a week ago, and I basically said to him, like, look, if you can look and see on the blockchain where you think this hash rate is coming from, see if you can find like the mining pools or the individuals or whatever, if they're like their own big pool, and how we would get in contact with them to advise them about an upcoming update. I don't know if he's been able to do that. But it's something that I've been aware of. And so Hans is actually right there. It's entirely plausible that trying to find that kind of a consensus won't work at this stage. And so I do wonder if it's like if we would go down the Monero route of specifically like the community basically echoing the sentiments of what they want, and the developers effectively go through and just do that. It's a tough one, and it's not one that I've got an easy answer for there. But I like where his head's at, and I think that's a really good question.
Next question. Ron K.
When will the CPU mining platform be ready? Man, I don't know. Like, honestly, like that's...
Didn't we say like beginning of, like end of Q1?
Well, how long is a piece of string? Nah, like that's the hard thing. Like, so
no, we didn't. No, wait. I got you on film on maybe in the Q1 tomorrow, maybe before New Year's.
Yeah, it might be tomorrow. It might be Q1. It might be the end of the year. Who fucking knows? It's tough because we don't want to obviously like you don't want to put something out there and then have it like not work properly. That would be disastrous. We're a $500 million blockchain. Like, we got to take this seriously. We're all effectively custodians of this project, and it's up to all of us to make sure that we don't go doing anything that would jeopardize that and the longevity of it. Like, this DigiByte will still be here in a century from now, and if we were to go out and like rush out these other upgrades, the worst case scenario, though, realistically, like for a poorly implemented random X, might be that an ASIC would get developed for it. So
that was my next question, man. It's kind of weird. You're not even Are you looking at my sheet? Wait a minute. We got a lot more questions.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see DigiByte in 2035? I mean, like, people using it, businesses using it.
Yeah. And this is actually one of the things. I mean, so coming back to Matthew, I want to say thank you to him because he's been, he's been helping me out with. We basically identified the emissions curve for it isn't quite as smooth as it should be, and so that's one of the things that we're looking at potentially fixing in this next version as well. So that way, when 2035 is reached, there's less of a drop from the block rewards down to the transaction rewards. So what's supposed to happen over time, and this is something that we're actually seeing with Bitcoin is, hello, I'm here. Hi, Brett. This is something that we're supposed to see over time happening with Bitcoin. So as the fees start going down from the block rewards, the transaction fees are supposed to also go up, and you have this kind of like crossing over. The problem is with DigiByte that crossing over, like, so for Bitcoin, they're very quickly approaching that, and they probably will come next block reward. For DigiByte, though, like the amount of block reward that you're going to get at 2035 is kind of going to plateau a lot and then drop really quickly when they're all found. So we're looking to smooth that out a little bit so that we can have that proper crossover so that you'll get more rewards from your blocks and things.
So, like, maybe make one of the algorithms that isn't really doing much, maybe not dominant over by ASICs, change it to proof of stake.
Well, that's one of the things that he's been talking about, but this is more specifically in terms of the rewards from the blocks. So that staking eventually would be applicable even if we didn't tweak the rewards and things. But this is basically so come 2035, the final block will have a DigiByte reward of like 80 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I went through and I did the math, and I thought I got like pretty close with correcting it, and then Matthew's gone and refined it even better, which is really cool. I'm grateful for him.
So is it even to the last block reward, which would be 80 DigiByte? That would be pretty fast to mine it, right?
Well, that's still a lot of DigiByte, and so I mean, let's say at the moment, what's DigiByte worth? Like 3 cents, give or take.
Yeah, it just hit 3 cents. 3 cents.
Okay, so let's say that's currently like $2.25. Here we go. I've just chucked it into CoinGecko. So you go from $2.25 reward from your block reward to 0, and instead you have to make do with just your transaction fees. And so the transaction fees, they might be like maybe they're like 1 DigiByte at the time, maybe they're 2 DigiBytes worth at the time, but going from like 80 being the block reward and 2 or 1 being the transaction fees to then nothing, and that's basically gone. It's behind my back now, and you've just got these 1 or 2. That's quite a jump, and so that's what we're looking at potentially like refining. Hans has said, I've already seen Matthew's GitHub. Yeah, cool, man. Look, I'm stoked that people have seen it. If you could go there, it would make my day if you could go there and put some comments and basically just go, yeah, I think this is a good idea, or no, I think this is a terrible idea, that kind of thing. Yeah, tell us, like, because honestly, that would be really cool, and I'd appreciate that a lot.
Who are you answering here so I can put them up on the screen?
Hans Meyer there says, yeah, smooth. I saw that Matthew's GitHub poll already. Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't we just raise the tax fees? I mean, when it gets to that point, I mean.
Well, yeah. So that's the thing. So at the time, miners could raise transaction fees. A lot of miners could also just go, nah, this is fun, and we've seen this coming, and so we've been shutting some off slowly over the last 12 months. But
I think I have 1% on mine.
Yeah, well, so it's
which is very minimal, by the way. Next to nothing.
Yeah, I think it will be better if we can smooth it. Hans is right. So at the moment, the blocks aren't full. There's not a lot of fees, so no one's going to mine. And if less people are mining, that reduces our security. So it's beneficial for the security for us to sort this out now and address it sooner.
Forward thinking.
Rather than kicking the can down the road and making it more difficult in the future. So it's funny because I originally mentioned this to Jared before the AutoCrypt upgrade. It was actually back in 2018, and the can's kind of been kicked down the road a little bit. So it's really cool to see Matthews helped to pick this up and run with it and stuff. So I'm stoked with that, and I'm very grateful for that.
I got a new question. It appeared in my brain. What do you think about being one of the faces of DigiByte, realizing maybe down the line when you're, a little older, everybody looking up to you like, that's Josiah.
No, like, honestly, like, I do it for my kids that one day they can go, hey, like, how cool was that back in the day when shit started out? And I can go, yeah, I was there. Oh, yeah, I was involved. Yeah, I helped out with that. Yeah, that in itself sounds a little bit narcissistic.
No. That's what I think of myself, like, oh, okay, that's Script Skynet. Where is he now? Like, where?
Yeah, I want to have good stories with like my kids or my grandkids, and basically they'll be like, what do you mean when you used to send text messages, you had to push the number 2 button 3 times to get the letter C? That's ridiculous. Yeah, back in my day. Like that kind of thing. I want to be able to tell them, back in my day, I was there when it all began, and I was helping out, and like, I think that'll be cool.
I'm gonna think it, and it is. That's where it's leading. You know what I mean?
Crypto dives. These coins like Dogecoin are going to pump because of social media craziness. Yeah, a lot of that's the crypto street bits, Wall Street bits. There's so many fake accounts and stuff out there at the moment, though, as well. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, but in the long run, we're going to see this baby grow, DigiByte grow in the crypto space in general. And literally, I mean, DigiByte's making moves in the background. I'm seeing it, man. I'm putting huge puzzle pieces together. I don't know if anybody else is seeing it. I mean, I'm not even part of the core team or but information's leaking out. Information's leaking out, man.
What kind of information? Like, because as far as I talk about it on my YouTube and stuff as well. Like, there's nothing secretive, really. There's no like.
It's just you and Jared, isn't it? Isn't it?
I've got him blocked at the moment, so it's definitely not Jared and I.
Dang.
I need to talk with him later on, so we'll sort that out.
I asked to interview him a while back. He just got to me 2 days ago.
Yeah?
What's up? The angry Jared, the angry drunk Jared. You ain't serious about decentralization? Get on out of here.
The one that calls you from a bar, telling you, "Hey, I've got this bartender, and he looks just like you. Let me do a quick video call with the bartender, and I'll show you what he looks like." And I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Dude, I'm trying to play Dungeons and Dragons with my mates over here," and he's like, "Nah, let me show."
Dude, actually, the DigiByte or the USD, the DUSD, it's all those things are plausible because of the color coins that we were talking about, that DG assets and all that. But
yeah,
conversation that would.
The hard thing with, sorry, go ahead, man.
You did have a conversation with you and Jared and other people that you kind of hashed it out where it's all plausible, it's doable, and
yeah, many conversations. I still remember sitting outside of the local Bird Barn, is like our pit store. And I sat there literally in the car park for an hour and a half while we talked it out.
Yeah, that's
Just sitting there in the car, like
how
out
it
the front
is.
of the store, and people walking past like with their pets and stuff, and I'm just sitting there on the phone like a weirdo. Um,
That's how it is sometimes. Like it's like that when like someone from the crypto space or crypto world talks to me, they reach out. All of a sudden, I'm stuck at a gas station. I'm like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And the poor people inside are like, is he gonna come in and
yeah,
pay for that gas, or is he?
exactly. What's he
No,
doing? He's been out there like 40 minutes.
yeah.
I
Like
got
I know our
security
pumps
walking
are
around me.
slow sometimes, but come on, like it's not. It's not taking that long to fill his car up. Like what? It's not even a Hummer. It's not gonna take like.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out a transaction. Hold on.
So like we talked about that. I'm not a fan of the idea of like making changes to DigiByte myself that are specifically just for one purpose. And I don't like the idea of pigeonholing us. And I have a feeling that if DigiByte were to go down that kind of like DigiDollar route, that it might get pigeonholed. I'm not sure. Like, it's not the kind of thing I like the idea of it. I like the idea of a decentralized stablecoin, and I can understand the need for it. I can understand the shortcomings of Tether. I can understand why it's a terrible idea that we've got like the USDC, we've got Binance stablecoin, we've got fucking so many of them. For what? Like that's the thing. Like so, if we do this now, let's quickly do this as an exercise. I'm going to bring up CoinMarketCap, and I'm really quickly going to go through the top. Well, let's go top 50. Okay, so we got Tether as a stablecoin. What else have we got? USDC. Wrapped Bitcoin is wrapped Bitcoin. Like that's not.
It's like the same price. It's like what's the
Okay, so we're ticking that one off. What else have we got here?
getting Bitcoin?
What are other like stable coins and stuff that are there? DAI is also a stable coin.
Die.
Binance USD, so we're at 5.
UUSD or what was it?
Yeah, and that's 5 just in the top 30 that are just for being like stable coins or a wrapping of the other one. Like what the hell?
These would be in their own little section, like stable coins list over here. I mean, who cares how much they have?
Like we're not going to put the New Zealand dollar in there up against it. It's ridiculous.
So pigeon toed, I mean, are you afraid that it bloat the chain
For what? Sorry.
for the say the DigiDollar?
No, but it's more of a case of there would be fundamental changes to the underlying way that it works and the way that we ascertain that price and that price differential. That would mean that it is reliant on a bunch of changes.
So sacrifice what? Sacrificing what?
I mean, I don't really want to talk too much specifically about the way that Jared wanted to implement it, in case he still actually does it, because I know that he was a bit concerned that someone else would potentially go out there and try and beat him to the punch. But the way that it interfaces with both third parties to ascertain that that value and like the offset of what happens when you're not worth $1, what happens when like if a bunch of people price goes up and they go and they sell out and then price goes down and there's less like that collateralization, that kind of thing. And how that
talking about checking and savings, like DigiByte being checking, DigiDollar being savings.
Yeah, and how that all basically like ties together. So
I totally get it. I get it.
I'm not sure if it's in DigiByte's best interest for that to be our main point of difference. What I would rather, I mean, because so DigiByte at the moment can handle like Tether on top of it. Like there's no question about that. And that in and of itself, I still think is cool.
And
but if you're talking about using, sorry?
And the Lightning Network, right?
Yeah, I mean, we could absolutely do Lightning Network. But there's not a lot happening on Lightning outside of Bitcoin. Like I look at some of the other chains that have Lightning, and it gets less transaction volume than whatever. But
solves everything.
I can't even remember where we're going with that now.
Oh yeah, stablecoin, not a good idea.
All right, yeah, we can handle Tether. We can be Tether. We could look after it, and it'll be fine. And there's no troubles with that. That's cool. But if you're looking at the likes of, say, Blocknet, and they're a fully decentralized exchange, it makes sense that you would have a decentralized stable coin, or at least a decentralized stable value. But to be honest, the way that I'm more looking at it is one day that's not going to be the US dollar. That's just going to be Bitcoin. And so we don't need anything else on top of it because Bitcoin will be that for us.
Yeah, you won't need. It's like Phase. I was talking to him a few weeks ago. He was like, "We're not going to talk about how much Bitcoin is in U.S. dollars. We're going to talk about how much U.S. dollars are in Bitcoin."
Yep.
You know, like Bitcoin's going to be the
yeah. Like today, my $1 can buy me like 100 sats. Tomorrow, it can only buy me 99, and that fluctuations. And I that's on a personal level, at least, where I see Bitcoin becoming is more of that reserve currency for the world, that central currency. Will it be used by me to go up the road and get myself a cup of coffee? I mean, I'm trying to wean off coffee, so probably not, but you know what I mean?
Like, I'm trying to drink my ashwagandha tea.
Yeah. I mean, I might buy some beer with it, but whatever.
Yeah, actually, that's what is this? What is this I see over here? What is going on? Let's get a little creative, right?
Yeah, I can see Ron's also saying no stable coins, it's unnecessary. And that's kind of one of the things. So stable coins are only interesting if you're trading and you're getting in and out and in and out and in and out on the regular. Like,
what is that behind you?
Oh, so that's a Hobbiton.
Oh,
that's
really
a barrel. Hang on, I wonder if I can bring this up real quick. Let me bring up my photos.
Yeah, bring up the photos, bro. Bring them up. Oh, I liked it. I like this right here. Can I click on that? Yeah.
Yeah, 7th anniversary.
The Unstoppable. I actually was going to use this picture for the thumbnail for this interview. So then I was like, you know what? I'll choose the floating head, Josiah.
Okay, let's do this real quick.
You gonna send it in the chat again?
Yeah, I mean, I can screen share here. I got a
bag
for that. Literally just like all my photos and shit.
Yeah, well, zoom in.
Like how bad? Nah, there's so many photos. But let's see how embarrassing we can make this.
Okay. Oh, did you? That's
or at least let's hope not. Hobbiton. Okay.
All right, here we go.
So these are, you're asking about what's in the background there. That's I think this photo.
Yeah. I'm gonna go full screen real quick. There we go.
Yeah, so you can see, I'm just like, it's great because it's an ale, but if I try and I'll scroll down, I was there with a bunch of mates and stuff. Where's the, so here's one of them.
Oh,
they have them everywhere.
Oh, weird. I remember that.
Yeah, here we go, this one. This is it. This is me and my mate, and we're like, let's run off with it. So that's what it is right there.
That's exactly what Lord of the Rings looked like too.
Yeah, dude.
They didn't have to do much work at all there.
Where's the?
Oh, you passed it.
Oh God, like
the Hobbiton. Yeah. The Hobbiton.
Where's Bag End?
Right there. Right.
That's there we go.
What's that door? Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it's Bag End, man.
Wow.
So yeah, there you go, everybody. You can go and have a bit of a watch. The Hobbit and the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings movies.
That's freaking crazy, dude. That is cool. What is there like any like other scenes, or did they go to other countries to film those scenes?
Almost all of it, like 90% of that, is filmed in New Zealand. Yeah.
And then the movie The Hobbit too, right? I mean, right? Yeah.
So I went touring around like London, Italy, France, and even parts of America 6-7 years ago. And you tell everybody, they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" You know, you catch up with them on a tour bus or something or whatever. You start talking with people, and where are you from? I'm from New Zealand. Oh, is that where they filmed Lord of the Rings? Yeah, that's us. We're basically like hairy feet, and that's it. Hairy feet and little people.
Big hairy feet. Forgot the big. Freakish, ugly feet. With
Crypto
Jared.
Dive says DigiByte's already so valuable, but most people don't know about it yet. Ron says, when will you make DigiBroker look better? I don't actually run DigiBroker, so I run Create Digi
Yeah. So yeah, you got the Create Digi website, and it's tied to our DigiByte wallets. So you go create Digi Assets, and it goes to your website where you can create your Digi Assets.
Oh, does it actually go straight to my website?
Yes.
I asked Yoshi not to do that, but whatever. Fuck. I don't like because I don't want to be like in that kind of like
You can't see the traffic on your.
I would rather that the button to create assets was just not in there. As bad as that sounds.
What? It's kind of like Digi Asset itself. Like when you create a Digi Asset, like DigiByte SoCal, you put the links in there, and it goes straight to
your
Digi Asset.
Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of cool, and I mean, I'm also kind of grateful for him putting it in there, but I'm aware that I also don't want to be seen as that figure. Like I want other people to have that kind of like. I'd rather it went to DigiBroker, you know, or something like that. I know that Matthew's been working on some other stuff, DigiAsset X, that kind of thing. So I'd rather it went there.
On the option, it says create an asset, and then it goes to you click it, and then it says create. It goes to createdigiassets.com.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I mean, clearly I haven't tested iOS enough if I've never hit the create button.
Yeah, so I just put in my.
Oh.
Yep. It says right there. Whoa. Plugged in. Right there it says DigiAssets, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that. And then it'll say actually you can't see it. I don't know why it's dark on the bottom, but one of those like translucent buttons say create. It's a plus sign. And then I go create, and then there it is. Create. Man, I really need to get freaking HD camera, man. That sucks. Yeah, right there. Create new asset.
Right, and when you hit that, that's as far as they've ever gone, because I don't think I've ever wanted to create a
Okay, this is get started, and it has a link straight to your website.
Okay. And I can't even bring it up. Have I shown this at the moment? What happens for me on iOS? I don't think I have. Let me bring this up. Okay. So you can see this is my DigiByte app here. So if I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna tap on it.
Man, I need your camera.
I'm gonna try and tap on it from behind. Here we go. And I get that.
DigiByte what? Crashed?
Yeah, because so I'm testing a version at the moment specifically on testnet. So it's not that it's even on the current testnet, it's on a testnet. And so we've been having some fun with it.
Okay.
So I can't even bring it up and have a look and yeah.
So here's a question about the social media platform Libertas. Obviously, Jared's baby, right? I think the main question is with Libertas. I mean, I had my friend. He works. One of my best friends. He works for AT&T, and one of the questions that he had was, "Oh, okay, so what server would it run on?" Like, because if you want to stay away from like all these servers, or where would we be able to store the information? Like I was thinking about maybe like a what?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was thinking maybe like not so much of a storage of our text messaging, but maybe like you text something and it degrades and disappears and gets deleted after a while. Like, why do we need it saved? I mean, who gives a rip? If we're just communicating.
Well, so the current server is one that basically Jared got me to set up for him. So despite all of our differences and not getting on, I still set that up for him. And I basically built that server for him because he was struggling with it. So I helped him out, and I said, "Sure, I'll volunteer, and I'll give you a hand. We'll get this up and running." So it is up, libertas.earth, I believe it is, or liber.earth. Anyway,
I haven't seen that.
it's up and going at the moment. I myself, I'm not a fan of the idea in so many words.
Why? Because of the some kind of regulation deal?
No, I mean, there's, as much as I disagree with the reasons that recent deplatformings have happened, the fact that they've happened, I can completely understand a lot of the toxicity that goes in behind that. And even especially here in New Zealand, it's something that we have struggled with, is we have a minor, I mean, he's an ex-musician turned attempted politician, and he's failing miserably, thankfully. But he's spreading a metric shitload of conspiracy theories and just lies, misinformation, and things like that. And so it brings up the interesting, Facebook deplatformed him. Now, do I like the idea that Facebook can deplatform somebody? No, not at all. But at the same time, I'm still very much aware that what he was saying was very toxic and very unhealthy. And he was sucking people in, and he was getting donations from them as well, and basically taking hard done by people's money. And I think that that's quite despicable. So no, I'm not saying anything that's going to happen with Libertas. Definitely not. But that's what's obviously spurred that on, is the recent deplatformings and things where we've seen, especially the likes of, so there was Facebook, there was Twitter, there was YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, Pinterest, what else? And they all basically deplatformed Trump, effectively overnight, for incitement of violence and things.
But
so
it seems like it's almost, if you decide to do it, because let me tell you, my friend is all about the this thing, what I'm telling them, I mean, to make it decentralized. I mean, I heard Jared was talking about, hey, we have all these things like Packcoin, Filecoin, and all that for storage, but I mean, that's the whole point of bloating Bitcoin, right? I mean, we need the storage somewhere else and not on DigiByte.
Yeah, so Packcoin are actually, at the moment, they're in the middle. I need to chase up with them and ask them where they're at. They're looking at implementation of DigiAssets so that we will use Packcoin as an optional backend. So at the moment, you can host it yourself, your DigiAsset backend. You could host it on AWS and an S3 bucket, or you could host it using Packcoin on IPFS. And I think that's pretty cool that people are going to have those options. I need to find out where they're at with that, because I haven't spoken with them a couple weeks, actually. It's probably been 2 or 3 weeks now, and I need to do that. Thanks.
Do you have to go through first, but you just go through Pack themselves?
Yeah, I've been talking with Andrew and David, the kind of heads of it, I suppose. But yeah, it's a tough one. I'm very well aware of that internal conflict within myself about I can appreciate why it happened. I don't appreciate that it happened. Do we need something else now that is potentially we've seen what happened with Parler, and it became quite negative and quite extremist. We've still got Gab. Gab is still out there, and so I know that people use that.
Well, what about crypto Twitter? I mean, look at what Twitter is doing. Twitter's got this thing called Birdwatch, and what it does is if you tweeted incorrect information, just even to your family members, someone can chime in and say, incorrect, here's what it is, da 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 da, and then it really flags you.
Well, I mean, it comes back to that XKCD thing of someone on the internet is wrong and I'm going to go and fix it. I mean, you've seen me literally doing that when people, especially in other cryptocurrencies, take it very personally when I do that for them.
Right. Well, hey,
sometimes it's easier for them to just go, nope, head in the sand, don't care, want to believe the lie.
Yeah.
But is that healthy? Is that productive? Are they then sucking other people into the lie? That's bad. Like people potentially going to be throwing their life savings into a project based on a lie. And that's the thing. We've seen that already with BitConnect. And not enough people took a stand for the truth, the objective truth, that it was a Ponzi scheme. Not enough people said that. Not enough people were warned. People took out life savings and they put it into it. They took their retirement. They took out a mortgage on their house, and they lost everything. And so that's kind of a tough one, because there are certain things where you look at it and objectively it's completely wrong, and that's why a lot of tweets in the past were actively clarified, saying this is factually wrong. Like, this is not like a gray area. This was actually said, and we've got a video over here linking to it, which
Those
is something
were fun, weren't they?
It was funny, like, but that's the thing. So people going, BitConnect is the greatest thing ever. BitConnect is, like, if you could have had a little thing pop up on your tweet and basically go, actually, BitConnect is not Bitcoin. BitConnect is not affiliated with them. BitConnect has no proven AI that is doing any kind of trading. BitConnect is a proven Ponzi scheme. How much safer do you think that the internet would have been? How many less people would have lost their life savings and things? It's tough. Like I mentioned, on the one hand, don't like that it happened. On the other hand, grateful that it happened. And I'm well aware there's two opposing perspectives. So
yeah, I mean, BitConnect could have done it right. I mean, they let a lot of people down this. I remember
the Ponzi scheme.
I remember watching the Ponzi scheme, but like people like this lady talking about, I've made 2,000 Bitcoin. It's in BitConnect.
Yeah.
All I have to do is give them my BitConnect coins and get my 2,000 Bit. Yeah, right.
Yeah. But not a lot of people were calling it out. Not a lot of people were standing up for the truth, saying, well, actually, no, you don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. I like what Ron said. I would focus on the current products because of the use cases. And I like that. I like that idea. Like, to be honest, we already have a lot that we're working on. There's so much already going on under the hood. So XRP is BitConnect 2.0. So, I love it.
But yeah. The thing is like, Libertas is more plausible than the DigiDollar. I mean, if you look at it.
All I know is I helped him set up the server. What he does with it from there on out is up to him. Like, to be honest, I'm not really myself interested in another social media platform. So we tried that with DigiByte.social. The amount of people that were interested was pretty slim, and the writing was on the wall. But it was worth having a shot at. And look, if he wants to take a shot at it as well, all power to him. I'm not going to stand in his way. And in fact, quite the opposite. Not only am I not going to stand in his way, I've helped him. I'm the guy who set up the bloody server.
Well, you know how you send a transaction? Like, I think I've sent you some money for or whatever, and I think I like encoded a little encrypted message on there.
Well, so on the Android wallet, that doesn't show up for me. So that's one of the things. And actually, I tell you what, let's bring something up here real quick.
We should have that done. Like, we should have that text format. It should cost like a hundredth of a DigiByte, and be able to text through the wallet. Why didn't we do that?
I'll share a screen. I'll show you.
See, look, I got you, didn't I? Why didn't we? I mean, if we can send transaction DigiByte, might as well tie it with a. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
Why don't we?
So
this is the DigiByte pipeline, so you can go and check this out here. And if we scroll down, I put it in there somewhere. Oh, here we go. Number 29: store mobile memo and op return.
Right, I was reading on that like 2 nights ago.
When you add a memo into a DigiByte transaction, it's not stored anywhere other than your local device. So that's like your cell phone has it. Now, we should optionally allow users to store the memo and op return, warning them that this will be 100% public.
Right.
So, like, you can read what I'm sending to my wife, kind of thing. Like, hey, this was for lunch. Thanks for whatever. And also noting that this will increase the transaction fee for it because there's more data to store, more transactions. More satoshis per byte, sort of thing. This will likely need work done on both the Android and iOS layer as well as the SPV core to save a memo on the chain. We're going to need some translation stuff. And long story short, I like the idea of us being able to potentially store that memo in the blockchain so that it is there permanently, so it arrives at the destination. Otherwise, if I'm putting a memo right now, it is just a memo for me for later on reviewing. So I could go back and go, yeah, that the reason that I sent like 3,000 DigiByte was because I was paying my mate back for beer, something like that. You know?
Yeah, but stored on the memo of the app, right?
It's only in the app right now. So if I happen to my phone gets lost, that memo is gone forever.
So, but I like the SPV core. Okay, no, hold on. I like this opt return where it's where it's like potentially. Well, it's the memos on chain where people can see it, right?
Everyone can see it. And so that's one of the things that we're also looking at increasing up return. So you can store more in that memo as well as improving what we can do with DigiAssets.
So why can't I just have the ANS receiver see my conversation? Like if I send you, hey, Josiah, here's the $100 I owe you.
Yep.
And then you see it. Hey, Josiah, here's $100 I owe you.
But how am I going to get that? That's the hard part. The only place I can get that from is the blockchain, because you never communicate directly with me. I don't mean like we talk on Twitter all the time.
But I am through.
I mean, like your wallet never talks directly to my wallet, and we can't make them find each other, especially given mine's behind my firewall here on the network. Yours might be behind like your 4G mobile carrier's firewall.
Yeah, but the transaction is it says you get DigiByte from me.
Correct.
With that DigiByte, kind of like on that block with for
That's what return is. It's including it in with the transaction in a specially predefined place.
Yeah.
So that's not an OP_return or op return for short, basically.
So everybody would be able to see that transaction.
Correct.
It's on the DigiByte Explorer.
Yep.
Well,
that's the downside because it's on the chain. It's public.
Well,
so yeah, it's rock and a hard place.
then maybe why don't how can you send it on chain with? There's got to be a way to send it on chain without everybody seeing it, like sending it to your app. Maybe it's built into the app.
Yes and no. So what you can do is if you have a certain public key, then you can take that public key and encrypt the message, and then you can take my public key and encrypt the message to me, and then I can decrypt it with my private key. The problem is that I've then got to share that public key with you in advance, which you can't easily do. So that's the way that public-private key cryptography works.
And that's where Monero comes in.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Okay, well.
Sort of.
Well, shoot, guys. Let's just stick with the current projects that we have going on right now.
We've been going on for an hour and a half. We should probably start to wrap this up so I can go cook dinner.
You need to grab another one of those, and I'm going to say goodnight to my wifey.
Yeah, man. This has been great, though. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much. And I appreciate there's been some cool questions come in there. We've seen some great comments from from Ron and Hans and Crypto Dive, some other familiar faces there too. So it's real cool, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, Hans.
Thanks to everybody who's tuned in.
Hans, I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to interview you, man. All right.
Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button down there as well.
Subscribe.
Hitting the $1,000 subscriber mark real soon.
Oh yeah, well yeah, guys, push me over the edge of 1,000 subscribers. This is taking 2 years.
Yeah.
And don't forget to follow Josiah, DGB_chilling on Twitter, and Josiah Spackman on YouTube.
Yeah. Look me up, Josiah Spackman DigiByte.
And what's your next thing coming out for your channel? What are you going to do next for your next video? I know
it's probably going to be a bit of an update, because it's been a couple of days and stuff. We've been what I really want is I really want to get 8.21 native on the M1 Apple Silicon. I think that'll be freaking cool. So we've already got native mining, and I can do that, and I've fired it up, and I actually was running it even on battery. It was amazing. But what I think really is going to be cool is a lot more. We're going to see more of this ARM architecture that is like the Raspberry Pi, for example.
Mm-hmm.
what we're seeing with Apple doing their M1 silicon. We're seeing Microsoft as well looking into that kind of thing again. They've done it previously with earlier versions of Windows. It flopped miserably, but you know. So
Okay.
yeah. Yeah,
Well,
man.
Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for being here and just chilling with Josiah and Chief Fund Advisor for the DigiByte coin. Guys, that's all we have for you. I am going to play the outro, but before I do, Josiah, wave at the camera.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.